Hi, this is my tutorial on how to use the COUNTIF function in Microsoft Excel. So what I have here are some Q1 assessment scores, some data, and what I'd like to do is figure out how many students scored in each category. Now I've already sorted this from highest to lowest, but that's not necessary for the COUNTIF function. It just happens that I had already pulled it that way. All right, so it doesn't have to be in numerical or highest to lowest or any of that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look for the number of scores that are at or above 90%, scores that are in the 80s, scores in the 70s, scores between 55 and 69, and scores less than 55%. So we're going to use the COUNTIF function to help us with that, rather than trying to go through and count each one by hand. All right, so we're in the cell we're going to start on. That's B195, and we are going to go here and start with our equal sign and type COUNTIF. There you can see most recently. So COUNTIF, and my range is going to be from cell B2 to B193, comma, quote, and my criteria is greater than or equal to 90%, close quote. Let's make sure I got everything in there. Hit enter, and we can see there are 26 scores at or above 90%. Let's do something similar now for the 80s, but we're going to change it up just a little because I have two criteria. It's got to be above 80, at or above 80%, but less than 89. So we're going to use equal COUNTIFs with the plural. So literally the plural with the S on the end there. It's because I'm going to give it two different criteria. Still going to have the same range, B2 through B193, comma, quote, greater than or equal to 80%, comma, put the range back in, B2 through B193, comma, quote, less than 90%, close the quote. And quick check, make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, I did. I forgot the quote after 80. That would have given me an error. Now everything looks right. I've got my range highlighted in blue for both of the range. And so hit enter. And there's 28 scores in that range. So what I want to do is save a little bit of time rather than typing that all out again. What I'll do is I'll come up here to my formula bar. I've gone back and re-highlighted the one I just did, gone back in that cell. And inside the formula bar, in front of each number, I'm going to put the dollar sign. And what that does is that's going to allow me to copy it into other cells without the range changing. If you don't put these dollar signs in there, when you copy it, the range would change. It would shift down because you're shifting down your, where your results are going to come to. So what I'll do is just go ahead and copy it down here. It's the same because I haven't changed the percentages, but if you'll notice, the range didn't change. It's still from 2 to 193, 2 to 193. So all I have to do now is change this. Instead of greater than equal to 80, it's greater than equal to 70. Instead of less than 90, it's less than 80. You can see the number here changed, 34. I got this little symbol just because it doesn't exactly match the one above it, but it's not going to, so I'm not too worried about it. Then for this one, it's between 55, so greater than or equal to 55, but less than 70, so that brings us to the 69, and enter. So you can see we have those. So for this last one, I don't need the COUNTIFs, plural, I just need a regular COUNTIF, and I will use it here. And my range is still B2 through B193, comma, quote, less than 55%. Close quote. I always like to double check that I didn't forget anything. Looks like I got it. If you forget something, you'll get an error and you'll have to go back and figure it out. Enter, and there we go, 45. So that's it. That's how you use the COUNTIF function in Microsoft Excel. Notice now I know exactly how we've done, and maybe with these numbers down here at the bottom, I got to do a little reteaching. So thanks for watching, and I hope you found it helpful. Thank you.